Alright, here we go. So I watched this video in the morning about, no, I wouldn't say it's morning. I watched this video after the lunch and I was thinking about, okay, yeah, this is how truly someone is who's successful and should be acting this way. And now take it that idea from him to here and see myself. Okay, where am I? Am I successful? Maybe not, as much as I think. But what is something that I can give to? I was searching my mind. I just let the one idea, this idea, I just let it flow. I just let it flow and see, how God can help me because I believe in God. So God can help me or something. It's just really vague, but something. My brain, that's how my brain works. And something will work and something will happen. I truly it's hard to tell, and that was the faith that I had after I watched the video. And I know that I will never be ready for something that's it's gonna happen, but when the moment comes, if I don't act on it, I don't think it's gonna happen when I become successful, when I have enough. It's just never gonna happen. So when the moment when the moment comes, I just reacted to it and I just do it. I just do it. So, and I just did not know where it's gonna come. So I use my open mindset to reach out something that's meaningful like this. And I was waiting on this shopping mall and waiting for my brother was finishing his shopping, so he was taking his products and then going to the counter to pay, and the line was pretty long. And then I saw a kid was coming in with mom, probably aunt, and I just, as soon as I saw him, it was like the moment, wow, this kid is really something. It's crazy how it sounds like, but I just notified him, I just noticed it right away. It's just like you see it, okay, there you go. It's just like one of those moments, and I just couldn't, I just couldn't explain at the moment. So okay, I see the kid, and that kid looks amazing, and I see that how wonderful this person is. I don't know, it's just not the appearance for sure. And I noticed that he was wearing this hearing helper, and his body structure was not just normal. And then I see his hat was quite old and quite dusty, because I saw when you wearing the same hat over and over and over, because we do sweat, and that hat line gets sweat and salty, so you have this mark of the saltiness. And it just, wow, I just want to give something to him. And I was wearing like this and wearing a cap. So only difference is I'm not wearing my cap. And I want to give him something. And then I realized that he was wearing LA Dodgers black hat, and happens to be I was wearing LA Dodgers black hat. And of course mine was a little bit more brand new, close to brand new. And I just wanted to give it to him. And I just also noticed that his hat is much smaller than mine, and I have big hat. And it just doesn't really matter. I just want to give it to him. That's it. I just don't know how this final answer came, but like that was it. Like I just want to give it to him, and then, but I don't want to be offended, and like I don't want to be too showing my generosity in a way that okay, I am better person than you are, so I'm just gonna give it to you, and like this head is better, and like, no, I don't want to take that way. So I first gently ask his mom, and happens to be, I just asked her this way. This is how it went. Excuse me, ma'am, is this your son? And she goes like, oh yeah, he is my son, and that's how far she said. And I, it sounds super crazy, but I really want to give my hat to your son. Would that be fine with you? And she said, oh yeah, yeah, he's my son. Like he was repeating the same thing, but just happens to be there are many people who speaks in Spanish, and they suddenly, just literally suddenly, one of the guy just stepped back on like spoke up and explained and translated my language to him. Like I literally get it, and she now finally she understood, and she said, oh yeah, sure, 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 thank you. And okay, I got her permission, so let me go to him, and then I looking for this kid, and like he disappeared. So like he just walk out, walk away, and then around the mall. So like I have to ask her, okay, what's his name? And his name is Jose. Okay, let me go to Jose, and then I ran into it. And as soon as I ran outside, I just also noticed that the whole environment, just like whole environment was like focused on me. Like everybody saw at the moment, how I came up to her, and like it just whole craziness, just came up to me, and like just asking her like that whole story. And then as I was ran into him, I did not walk, like I was really joyful. I was really willing to give this kid a one. I just want him to have my hat, like as a gift. And I ran into him, and I called him like Jose, Jose, and like he just walked around like this. And when I called him, he looked at me and saying, oh yeah, and like, and I explained to him, oh hi Jose, I just talked to your mom, and your mom said it's okay. I know it's kind of crazy, but I really want to give my hat to you. And are you Dodgers fan? And he says, oh yeah. And then like just I want you to try this on. And I took my hat off, and like I gave it to him, and he took his hat off, and then he wore it, and like, oh, you look great. Jose, you mind if I take a picture with you? Because I really want to have this memory, not to show up anybody, but just like to keep my memory. And then he said, oh yeah, okay. And then we took a picture, and then he was giving his my hat back. And oh no, 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 Jose, I want you to have this hat. I know it's big because my head is big, but I want you to have it. And then he said, oh, he didn't say thank you, but like, like, I get it. That like, when I gave the hat over to him, when he trying to give it me back, I really want you to have it. And that moment, I don't know how, where this whole thing happened. And as you can see, my hair is kind of messed up. And I usually do not like to, walk around like this. But that didn't really matter to me. At that just moment, I want him to know that you are a great man, you're gifted, you're meant to be loved, and God loves you so much. And I can already feel that God is taking care of him. And I just felt that, and seeing in him that God is really taking care of him. And I don't know, I just did a part of it, but yeah, that was a true moment. And I walked back to her, his mom, Jose's mom, and saying, okay, I just gave Jose the hat. Thank you for accepting it. And I want you to know God loves you so much. I want you to know that as well. And from there, that was it. That was done. That was it. And I'm very normal person, a guy, goes to work Monday to Friday, and just living in a humble life, living in God, loving God. Yeah. It doesn't have to be you're super wealthy. You don't have to be very special. There's a people like that everywhere. And we can share stuff. And that's how we can make the world a better place. And that's how I truly believe it. And just to talk about the scale wise, because The Rock is very famous movie star, so he can collaborate with the Fords and other companies. But then I just see that if I keep doing what I'm doing, whenever moment comes to share the whatever I have, if I can. And as you can see, I have quite a few hats, and I only have one hat. I cannot fit in all those hats. And just happens to be in the morning, I went all the way back in the morning, happens to be I was going to wear a different hat, but I wore that hat, and that hat is actually very special hat for me because I have a very close friend. I call him brother, and it's like a representative thing, kinda like, okay, this is brotherhood thing. So I want you to have one hat, and he knows how much I love hats. So I got him one, and I got myself one. So it's like, you know. But if I knew at the moment that that hat is for that hat, and I would probably hesitate. But just like when everything came out, like I just did it, and I don't know where this all came out. So I stepped back, thought about what did it happen and how did that happen. And first, I was super inspired from how I live as a Christian, giving it back to someone else with the things that I have. It could be skills, it could be money, it could be time, it could be food, it could be clothing, it could be anything that I have. And then of course that video super pushed me hard, inspired me, it pushed the very good way. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So takeaway message will be just simple as like this: if I can do it, you can do it too. When the moment comes, you just simply do it, and from there you will know. And I think, at least I believe, I really believe that this small step will increase later with the bigger scale, but that still the core thing is still same. And I know a lot of people doing the same thing. Doesn't look very big, but they're still doing it, and our company's doing it, and just that's how I see it. Yeah, that was a story that I had today that I want to share with everyone who's watching this video. I don't know how it's gonna really affect in your life, but I know for sure you can do that too.